My homily for the 14th Sunday in Ordinary Time, the 7th of July 2024. Looking at the readings the other day, I began to think that they seemed familiar, and then remembered. These were the readings that I used at my first Mass 33 years ago today, the 7th of July 1991. They were proclaimed in the Chapel of Ease of St Anthony in Horwich, which is now used as a school hall. Thankfully, I didn't receive the reaction that Jesus did, astonishment and rejection. But then a friend preached. And I've never been able to speak with eloquence and authority like Jesus himself. Today's gospel is a cautionary tale. You think that they would welcome their local boy made good, but instead they couldn't accept that one of their own from lowly Nazareth, with a limited education as they saw it, could be a prophet, never mind the Messiah. Can anything good come from Nazareth? Said Nathanael, before he got to know Jesus and became his disciple. It's pure prejudice, alas, still not uncommon today. We think we know someone. He's just a carpenter. We know his family. Who does he think he is? I'm sure we're not as insular as the people of Nazareth, but we still reject people because of where they come from or how they speak, or because they're not as we think they should be. And then we can add envy into the mix as well. We should judge people based on their words and deeds, not our prejudices. Think the best of people, said St. Paul, unless we have good reason to think otherwise. In contrast to Jesus' miracles and eloquence, I've always identified with St. Paul in today's second reading. My grace is sufficient for you, my power is at its best in weakness. Through seminary and priesthood, I've always been aware of my weaknesses. Sometimes I think, what on earth am I doing here? How can I stand before you as a priest? Then I remember St. Paul's words. It is when I am weak that I am strong. When I depend on myself, things very quickly seem to go wrong. But when I put my trust in God, then things work out somehow. That's my experience. It's easy when you are gifted to do great things, but the danger then is that you're just proclaiming yourself. However, if you feel out of your depth, out of your comfort zone, then pray, Lord, I need you, help me. I have found many times in such situations that God has helped me. The power of his Spirit has worked through me and made the difference. After all, we're doing it for him. Why wouldn't he help us? 365 times in the Bible, one for every day of the year, it says, do not be afraid. In other words, trust God. When I have done that, whether it has brought earthly success or failure, and we need a bit of both in our lives, God has been at work. That's my experience. We need some failure in our lives to keep our feet on the ground. As Father McGarry used to say, you can't fall off the floor. So whenever we feel weak, we must ask God to be our strength and then press on.